Good morning. It is Tuesday, November 29th, puts us 90 days out from February 27th. I'm going to repeat that. We are 90 days out from February 27th. So I'm in charge of the stupid, and Zoe's in charge of fixing the stupid. So I asked her if you've ever seen Zoe in her office, if you've been in a coaching conversation with her, or normally on the Zooms and here on KWikStart, there's usually artwork behind her, which I believe was self-made, correct?
Yes, I did make that. Yes.
Yeah, which when it's behind her for this, the color palette was
it's special. Yeah.
Well, it was very similar to what we're encased in right now here on Ecamm. So I just asked her.
He's like, I just asked a simple question.
I just asked her, and we went down an Art 402 wormhole, like second semester senior year. I didn't get there, by the way. Colored way outside the lines. That should shock nobody. But now all I see behind your beautiful little head is just a sad little hook.
Well, the hook, yeah.
Yeah. So awaiting artwork. What's happening?
You made me an office picture. So
I love that. But now, so is that just, that's just a teaser for like what, for Q5? We have new artwork coming Q5?
It is, yes. It will.
Oh, now you're moving the camera. Now you're self-conscious about it.
I know, I am.
It's fine.
But the plan is, so I won't go into like, senior year color theory. But the long and short of it was the color was not okay, and it was burning my eyes, so I needed to change it. I will change it.
See, that's why I've gone with the sad drab blue gray behind me with nothing hanging up. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, it does make life simple. So what we're doing is we're doing color tests. I don't know if it's next week or the week after. You will see 4 different canvases, and I'm going to test which one I like better. And then I'll make a new painting of that one.
So now when an agent joins our company, they do the disc, the KPA, and the color test?
That's right.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, I can't.
We can call it the CT, the color test examination. Yes.
Like I have all the knowledge up here. We could go into like visual literacy. Like we could go down all these wormholes in my brain. We won't. But
so if you talk to her today, don't ask about the missing artwork because you don't have time. You don't have time for the answer. I didn't have time for you were mid sentence, and
he's like.
I fired up the show. I'm like, we're leaving. Because that automatically, whether you know or not, on our end, it mutes the microphones. Yeah.
Yes.
So I was muttering under my breath, waving my cane at the clouds. Anyway, welcome in, guys. Tim's here. Zoe's here. We are into the calendar for today. Conversation and script practice is at 11 o'clock. We do have, I was approached by one of our best scripting geniuses at Pi Day. Good things always come, well, everything great comes out of Pi Day, of course. The T-shirts, which are still for sale, by the way. Can we bring that up? Yeah. So Zoe and Melissa put together, I believe it's through our friends at Bonfire. You can go and you can purchase for the rest of forever because very smart marketing. You don't date the T-shirt.
That's right.
Yes. Unless there's a handsome man inside the T-shirt, then you date the T-shirt. But yeah, you don't date the T-shirt. So there's no date on it. It just says waiting for Pi Day. So it's actually supposed to be worn. You're supposed to wear it the day after Pi Day for the next 364 days. Although we would like you to launder it and shower occasionally as well.
Please.
Wildly important. So those we'll drop that into the liner notes.
Yes. Momentarily.
Approached by Dr. John Kenyon, who's phenomenal at scripting. If you've never been in a room with John when he's scripting, if you've had the pleasure of watching him script, anybody who's been a member of the Kenyon team. He's got a huge. It looks like the lectionary at church, right? Like sitting up on the. So like a huge thing. There's actually colored ribbons in it for the different seasons, right? Ordinary time, Lent, all that stuff. So you could listen to him talk to somebody, and they'd be like, "Well, I was gonna buy a house, but then we had a terrible accident. Now I have a wooden eye and a glass leg." And he flips to, "That's great, Mr. Lindsay. I've worked with lots of people with wooden eyes and glass legs. Like he handles every objection." He's brilliant at what he does. Beyond a shadow of a doubt, he is going to join us, not this Tuesday. They are touring universities today with one of their many children. Actually, I think it's their daughter. I think they're on their third and final child leaving the nest. They're touring universities today, so he can't join us today, but I believe next Tuesday, Dr. Kenyon will be in the building for that. So he's going to start to be in the room more often and start to help us with those because we need all the help we can get. But that way, if you are coming in, you're nervous about, or you don't have any questions, you just want to watch it happen in action, he and I can spar. So I can throw all the ridiculous objections at him, which I have up to my eyeballs, and you watch him handle those. Because it's really important that we understand it's not about having the answer. It's about making sure that they feel heard.
Yeah.
And he does a really good job with that. So
Heard
conversation and script practice today at 11 o'clock. Next Tuesday, I believe Dr. Kenyon will be joining us for that. And when I say, I'm going to say John, because people are going to come thinking it's Susan Kenyon. They're like, oh my God, Susan's going to be in the room. Then you'll see John and his flowing locks, and you'll be like, oh, this isn't as cool as Susan. It's not. He's not. I'll say it for him. Yes, he outkicked his coverage. I tell him every time I see him. So after that, today, no matter where you are, if you're smart enough to be in the room at 12 noon, at 12 o'clock today in Meredith, in the training room, or on the Zooms with the Lookin' Chicken, and she's going to speak right into the Lookin' Chicken. She promised me. Yes. She's doing absorption.
Here.
Jen Vachon's doing absorption. If you have no idea what that is, it is all about the marketplace and the amount of inventory we have, the amount of time it spends on in the marketplace, and having that conversation. Besides just using your CMA tool and going with straight facts, it's really explaining to your sellers the power of the timing and setting the market, joining the market, and the effectiveness of utilizing lead and lag indicators with the numbers that are available to us when the truth shows up, when people have been on the market. Because right now you're thinking, well, there's only 4 houses in my neighborhood, Zoe, on the market. Maybe I should join. Yeah, because you could be the 5th house and turn into the 1st house. Because the other 4 houses that are sitting there right now, everybody's like, oh, it's the holidays. It's almost Hanukkah. It's almost Christmas. It's sunny out today. It's Tuesday. It's overpriced. That's the answer. In any country in America, it's overpriced. And it is impossible, we'll say. And if Nathan was here, he'd say it. Impossible in any market to underprice a home. Let's make that shirt. It's impossible in any market to underprice a home because it will net up. The sellers don't decide the price. Gary said the sellers decide the initial marketing price.
The marketing price.
Yes.
The list price.
Guess who decides what market price is? The buyers do.
The buyer. The one who actually pays all
So when you look around right now, we went from, and we saw going from, when the markets changed, we went from multiple showings, multiple offers to multiple showings. And as soon as that starts to happen, we know, now we're seeing corrections, which people shouldn't be concerned about corrections. Chicken Little, I love chicken. Chicken Little is not screaming the sky is falling. The market is not crashing.
Chicken Little is screaming you overpriced this home.
The market is not crashing. The market is correcting, which is a blessing. It is a blessing for us. I
think Gary Keller has said it time and time again. He said it very loudly and clearly at Mega Camp. I constantly try to remind myself of this, but what he said was this market that we have been in the last 2 years is a complete anomaly.
Yep.
Complete and total anomaly.
Yep.
This was weird.
Yep.
It was weird.
Yep.
And we're just going back to what the cycle was.
We had about 18 months of no appraisals, no inspections. For 82.9, the math is being made up in my head as I speak. 82.9% of our buyers and sellers were experiencing appraisals, no inspections. We had an absolute industry clown show.
It was crazy.
We're getting back to basics. And if you don't like the word basics, use fundamentals. It's monosyllabic. Whatever makes you feel wicked smarter, deal with the fact that we have to get back to basics. We have to understand this, and a huge class that everybody's been pining for. So I can tell you right now, it's going to be on the Zoom. So if you and Mittens are staying on the couch today, just fire up Keller TV at 11:59 and join us for that. So right on the heels of scripts and conversations, you've got JV coming into the room. She is teaching absorption, and it is a phenomenal opportunity to understand that conversation and the power of that conversation at the kitchen table to make it more of an emotional conversation. Logic makes them think, emotion makes them act. Bold law, right? So if we remember that, JV is going to arm you with the blueprint for that conversation today at 12. 2 o'clock, the One Thing series continues with Keller Williams New England. That is on the link that is in the morning news that will pull you to the regional site for that. And then, of course, tonight at 4 in Portsmouth. And then again, we're doing it next week again in Meredith. Vision boards. The importance of this. We talked about this yesterday. The importance of vision boards is that you are visualizing all the goals you set. Because if you write down 411s and GPSs and cobble down all your notes, which you're probably going to put in the bottom desk drawer and never look at again. This is a way to actually put it and romanticize it and put it on a piece of poster board and have a talking piece in your office that you can remember. Oh, yeah, I wanted the new SUV. I wanted to stay in the park at Disney, not sleep in our car in the parking lot. You know, monetary goals, whatever the goals are, doesn't matter.
Whatever they are. Make them real for you.
Yeah, vision boards are important. Virginia is hosting that today at
Speaking
4
of
o'clock in Portsmouth.
Visual literacy, actually, Tim, I'm so glad you brought this up because
I'm focusing on the lovely hook behind your head. Keep going. Yeah.
He's like, shut her up. Shut
No,
her
I'm
up.
fine.
He has the mute. He's
No,
not
go
using
ahead.
it yet.
Nope.
So.
I would never do that. Would never do that.
Not true. So the reason is we are visual animals. Like that's just what we are. People talk about the lizard brain. Like we're very visual animals. Things that are visual get to our brains faster. The literal pathways from our brains visually from pictures and like what we see in the world far faster, like millions of times faster than words, than the written word.
Yep.
So if you use pictures like a vision board to show yourself, this is what I would like to do. This is what I intend. These are my intentions. These are my commitments. It will get into your brain deeper, faster, more consistently. And that is when you start making and seeing real change in your world. And you're like, how did that happen? It's because you're tricking your brain into helping you get what you decide right now in vision boards you'd like to do and accomplish.
That is today at 4 in Portsmouth with Virginia. So just show up. Apparently, you're going to have your friends from 4 Point and Movement, so our title company, and our dear lenders from Movement Mortgage. I hear there's going to be Italian flatbread pizza. And yeah, I think some cocktainis will be flying around, along with glue sticks and markers and poster board and glitter and some magazines.
Do you think it's BYO magazines? Maybe.
I would say. Well, yes, 15 things. I think first and foremost, if you actually have tangible media, which all the kids are like, "What is a magazine?" I know. Or you can literally just go to Google Images and start printing stuff up. Although if you want to make a really, or Pinterest, yes. Or if you want to make a really sexy vision board, don't forget that you'll be printing those here or at Kinko's across the street, commensurate pricing. It is, I believe we're at 13 cents a color copy, just so you know. Sure. So either way, doesn't matter. You can do that here if you want to print, or if you do have magazines, you have images, if you've been collecting them. Or if you want to be really artistic like Zoe, you could just draw stick figures. You could. I've never seen anybody do that.
I've never seen a hand drawn vision board, but that never say never, right? There can always be a first.
Who knows?
And I do know from our staff vision boards last year, one of our staff did actually do it wasn't me. I know you'll be shocked. Did actually do a spreadsheet version vision board, made theirs in Google spreadsheet and had like dropped the images in each cell and had like the grid.
Oh, I beyond the shadow of a doubt know who that is.
It's amazing. That is a work of art.
It was a he. 1,000% I know who you're talking about. We're not going to pick on him. It's fine.
It's fine.
But yeah, there we are. God help us. All right. Anyway, so for the rest of the week, we have contracts. Tomorrow, of course, on the heels of contracts, Bradley Kelly from Movement Mortgage is going to be teaching at noon p.m. in Portsmouth on the heels of contracts, renovation lending. And then on Thursday, I just clicked out of my email and totally, oh my Lord, hang on, standing by.
She's back for Thursday. Jen Vashon.
JV's teaching again. JV's teaching again from 11 to 1 in Meredith, and on the Lookin' Chicken again. Take a listing.
So if you're paying attention, JV's classes are back.
Yes.
Right? That's what's happening right now.
Yes.
JV was like, I need to teach my classes again. So we are making it happen in December and then again this winter. So she is teaching her absorption. Take a listing on Thursday.
Yep.
And then she will be following up with working with buyers in 2 weeks. And then we will be doing all of those again. So those are all in Meredith.
Yep.
Meredith. And online, so hybrid from Meredith.
Yep.
We will be doing them again in the winter, hybrid from Portsmouth.
Perfect.
So wherever you are, you can partake today, and you can be in person in the room in Meredith with her as well.
Perfect. And then, of course, on Friday, we have wealth building is what we do. So we do an 8:22 quick start on the heels of James Shaw. And then we go right to 8:30 with Wealth Building 2.0 with KWRI President Mark King. That goes well past 9 o'clock. I notice he skates way past 8:59.
Whoa, last week was a shock. I was like, what time is it?
Yeah.
Hold on.
Yep. He clearly didn't have a 9 o'clock meeting, so we just kept, well, actually, we have to remember, though, they're an hour behind us.
Yeah.
So when he starts at 7:30, so he does have some lag time because I'm sure his people aren't showing up at International until whenever. Nonetheless, you have a good solid 30-something minutes with Mark King talking about wealth building. The reason we brought this on, actually, I'll give Alexander Lamonte all the credit because he went to Kaylee after the event in Somerville and said everybody needs to dial into this. So Kaylee thought it was important that we switch our Friday calendar and start doing this. In the last couple of years, during the real estate clown show that we experienced where we were waiving inspections and appraisals and everybody was printing money and writing contracts on the back of a cocktail napkin, good fun, good, almost illegal fun that we had. You guys made an inordinate amount of money. And the concern is, are you actually building wealth? Mm-hmm. So if you have extra money, are you investing it? We want you to invest in your relationships and your funds, as opposed to spending money and spending time with your people. Are you investing time with your people, and are you investing your money? So that conversation every Friday at 8:30, and then back to basics. The brokers are back again. It's all JV all week. It's the new fall season, even though it's almost winter. JV's back with back to basics. That is always at 1 o'clock on Fridays, and then that sort of wraps it for the week. What I did want to talk about real quick, Zoe. We always go into these books, and James Shaw, of course, is in the shift. I'm having trouble today. There it is. There's the shift. James Shaw was deep in it today, and I thought was really important to think about how many people, and of course, Gary. I mean, let's be honest. When somebody writes a forward for a book, it does have to get vetted. Mm-hmm. Nobody's going to write, this is horrible. Gary's like, throw that right after the glossary. Throw that right in the beginning. But what some of the people said about shift, which I think is wildly important, because I know we're about to get into business planning clinic at the York Public Library next Thursday. Our fifth and final one, by the way.
Final. If you're counting, it's the last one this year.
Yes.
Don't come to us and say, when are you doing the next one? Nope, it's this.
We decided, Zoe in her better judgment, she took down the artwork behind her head because it was clashing with the wall paint. And also, we decided to cancel the December 55th business planning clinic because it's too late. Yeah. Mm-hmm. We will be doing one. Because you'll notice Zoe overnight. I think it was like 4:30 this morning. I was sending out invites. You and I will be doing. Yeah. Cocaine's a hell of a drug. Anyway, so I was sending out invites. You and I are doing the business planning clinic for the halftime. I believe we're doing. I believe we're doing Thursday, June 29th. We won't be doing June 30th. Fantastic. That's a Friday going into a holiday weekend. I feel like we might be inebriated at that point. So on Thursday, the 29th. JV's birthday, if you're writing these things down. Ooh. Yes, we will be doing the halftime business planning clinic. That will be in Portsmouth.
Business planning clinic plus cake. Best one ever.
So that is the next one after next Thursday. Zoe and I are going to start doing a halftime business planning clinic.
He said, folks.
What's that?
June.
Yeah, June 29th. Yes.
June 29th.
Why a halftime business planning clinic? We do the 15th protocol every month. We talk about the fact that you can't fix the month on the 32nd. You have to do it halfway into the month. At halftime, you assess where you are and you make the adjustments. You don't adjust your goals down. You usually adjust your activities up. So on the 29th of June, that'll be the next one. So the final one of the fall. The fifth one we've offered as a market center. We did one on the road down in Chestnut Hill, but the fourth one locally is going to be, and the fifth and final one is next Thursday, York Public Library. That is in the ether right now. So please click the link and join us for that. I do believe there's going to be breakfast treats. I know there's going to be lunch, and it's a phenomenal room. So please join us for that. So you can have a plan, or you can reverse engineer maybe tonight's poster board, if you know what I mean. If you're going to be making your poster board tonight, your vision board tonight, you can sort of reverse engineer the metrics to support the SUV and Disney and the trip to Tahiti and all that kind of stuff.
Ooh, Tahiti.
So shift inside the opening cover. There are a lot of quotes from a lot of people talking about how great this book is and why it's important to them. And one of probably the best, absolute best people on the planet, Tony DeCello, former MAPS coach. He retired. He got 15 new hips, 4 new knees, and he's just like, I'm going to go sit down for a while. So Tony DeCello, the boy toy, I call them that, the boy toy of Dinah Kokoska. They're a beautiful couple. One of the best MAPS coaches ever. You've ever heard me say I can move you with a feather, a bat, or a bus. That's his. Real estate is a simple business that's often overcomplicated in its application. Shift is a book that gets to the heart of what makes a real estate business work and work well, no matter the market. Read it over and over again and keep implementing the basics of this powerful tool. That's Tony DeSello. One of our favorites, Linda McKissick. There's Diana Kokoska. We could go on and on. We won't, though. I'm going to read a couple more. Linda McKissick. If you don't know who Linda McKissick is, her and her husband, Jimmy, if you ever see them in the wild, he's about 3'8". He's shorter than Nathan. It's possible. Jimmy McKissick, anytime you see him in the wild, always smiling. Here's why. He and his wife, Linda, when they joined, they had a multitude of investment properties, in the hundreds, no word of a lie. They were all underwater. And when they joined Keller Williams, it turned everything around for them, and they are now the top profit-sharing couple in the entire company. Yep. And this is a few years old, and it always feels like yesterday, but I feel like it was maybe a couple Julys ago, Zoe. They did $187,000 in profit share in 1 month. $187,000 in profit. No, maybe it was $87,000. Doesn't matter. What did you do last July?
Way,
yes,
great.
either way. If you see Jimmy, he's always smiling. That's why. Because every month on the 21st, they make more than $4 because they are investing in their opportunities with fellow agents and helping people join the company. So Linda McKissick, who states when she is talking to people about the opportunity at Keller Williams, what she doesn't say is Keller Williams, which is brilliant. Mm-hmm. She talks about her experience and her opportunity without stamping KW all over it. She says, Gary's new book, this was written a while ago because this was written a while ago. Gary's new book is packed with hope, knowledge, and a real plan for success. It reminds us to control our fears and think about the opportunity that all markets bring. Thank you, Gary. And then here he is, Gene Rivers, our favorite, right? Just do it, stupid. If you've ever seen Gene Rivers teach and he doesn't say stupid, it might not be Gene Rivers. It might be a doppelganger. Yes. And he says it with love, just like we do. Gene Rivers, Tallahassee, Florida. Sales volume, by the way, for Gene Rivers, 57 million. That's it. And this was at the time of the book being written. It's called a shift, not the end. The game was here, now it's there. It's just moving. You need to remember that everyone goes to bed at night somewhere and that they can either own it or rent it, but someone sold it to the owner. If you get back to what really works in all markets, that sale can and will be done by you. Read this book, get your head on straight. There's some Gene Rivers for you. And get back to what works in all markets. And you will own the market. So we always talk about, and there's another quote in here from Rick Jiha, a great agent out in California, who's one of Nate's good friends. And he just says, keep them side by side. And I mean the Millionaire Real Estate Agent and Shift. So if you are asking for Barnes & Noble gift cards, notice I didn't use the S. Do you know what people call it, Barnes & Nobles? It's Barnes & Noble, by the way.
Yeah, it's just
Barnes &
singular.
Noble.
There's one Noble. Multiple Barnes.
It's Chipotle, not Chipotle. But anyway, we don't really have time for me to run through all the misnomers. But anyway, if you have Shift or if you don't, if you have the MREA or if you don't, and you are wondering what to ask your loved ones for Christmas, then for the love of God, get these two books. And I'll tell you, you can do it really cheap. I'm going to tell you this. Everybody's like, I tried to find the spiral bound one, Tim, and I couldn't find it. You have to go on Keller Inc. for that. These are the leadership editions.
They're great.
There's no differentiation.
Lay flat.
And you're all leaders. It lays flat, and it has cheat tabs, which is the greatest thing ever. Yeah. Because absent the cheat tabs, here's my old version of the one thing. You have to put on your own cheat tabs. And this is the one thing. This is what happens when the dust cover falls off. This is my original one thing. If anybody ever steals this, I'll have them killed. You still have the dust cover.
It usually look. I do, yes.
Yeah. That's because you're better than me. I lost mine in the fire.
Anyway. It's because I listened to the audiobook.
Oh, my God. Well, you're bringing up a great point.
By the way, way better than the audiobook. So following up on Tim's point, keep them together. And if you go for the Millionaire Real Estate Agent and you're thinking, wow, this isn't the page turner that I thought, yes, that's correct. It's totally true.
Yes.
Because this is the plan. This is the blueprint, right? Blueprints are super boring, not page turners, not novels here, not mystery novels. No.
Say what I always say. It's a terrible read.
It's not great.
It's a
It
terrible
isn't.
read.
And
It's a
that's
blueprint
cool,
for the
right?
business.
We
Yes.
all agree with you.
Yes.
It's not awesome.
Yep.
It's still highly valuable.
Timmy falls
And
in
then
well. Lassie goes drinking. Timmy dies. We've all read the
Yeah.
book. Yes.
the end.
Yeah.
You got it all.
Yep.
This, however, is the how-to.
The playbook for the
playbook,
activities. Yes.
The what to do.
Yep.
And Tim and I hear all the time in meetings with you folks that I don't know what to do. What should I do next? Just tell me what to do next.
Yep.
I don't have to. The dude the number one guy in real estate. He is telling you. So read, do. You can get creative after.
Well, and everybody's waiting for MREA 2.0, which all they're going to do is add electricity. Let's have an honest conversation. And
There is some electricity in here, actually. There's some good
and should you join us next Thursday? Wow, I feel like I'm beating a dead horse. Should you join us next Thursday for Business Planning Clinic at the York Library? We're looking forward to seeing you. We will be teaching to MREA 2.0. All of that information that we're teaching is from MREA 2.0. We still haven't printed MREA 2.0 because we're still working on command. Hi, Gary. You look great. So until that comes out, and there's a T-shirt now. They sell it internationally. You've seen it at the event, Zoe. They have a T-shirt that says MREA is still valid.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, with all the swear words. Well, the exclamation points and the hash browns. Yes. So it's a real thing. These books matter. And you don't have to. Let's preface this. You don't have to have the red book read, pun intended, before joining us on Thursday. Joining us on Thursday will help you understand the red book when you read it.
Yeah.
And you're going to have to look at it once a year because your personal relationships, your business relationships, your business, all these things will be ebbing and flowing every 364 days. So you jump back in, you build a new plan. And you're going to hear things differently this year than you will next year. And I guarantee when you finally do dive into the red book, and a great reason to get the leadership edition, we can't actually tell if the spine of the book is broken, so we'll never know if you actually read it or not. Cheat code. You'll be like, oh, they're not making that up. I've heard Gary say that before. He wrote the book. I've heard Nate say that before. He's read the book. I've heard Timmy and Zoe say that before. We've read the book. And to Zoe's point, and I love that you brought up Audible before we escape. We're almost on time. We're doing so well.
I know.
Should you choose Audible or any listening format, most people use Audible. And actually, another cheat code, most of your boards, National Association of Realtors, and I believe NHAR, or is it NAR?
I think it's NAR.
NAR offers you an Audible subscription for free. Or you pay $14.95 a month and you have like 11 extra credits. Who am I talking about? Am I talking about me again?
I really need recommendations.
Yep.
Yeah.
So my point being, if my MAPS coach said this to me years ago, and it's true. I believe it to be true. If you are listening to books like this on Audible, when you park after your 30 or 45-minute drive, write down 3 questions that if you were teaching that portion of the book that you would ask the class. That moves you from listening to hearing.
Yep.
And I hope you understand. Or is it from hearing to listening? Doesn't matter. There's 2 different things.
Listening to hearing. I think.
Yeah. Did you actually hear it?
Right.
Because otherwise it's just words flying by your face. And you're like, oh yeah, I listened to the whole book. Okay, how much did you retain? And I think you have to go through a book like that, to Zoe's point, echoing my point. It's a terrible read. It's a blueprint for the business. That is the red book. Shift is the playbook for the activities. Wildly important. And whether you want to hear the word basics or fundamentals, those of us who get back to those sooner than everybody else, because most of the industry still has their feet up from Pi Day and chicken giving, and they'll be back in the spring, go steal their cheese. If you need our help to do so, we're here for it. So 603-834-2856. If you have questions, comments, concerns, hopes, and dreams, or just need some help with the script, we'll see you at 11 o'clock for that. Or book my face at meetwithcoach.com. We're blessed to be in business with you guys. We need you to lean in, though. I'm asking you to lean in, be part of the conversation. Look at the calendar, figure out what's going to feed your head, and we'll see you in and around the classroom and around the market center. Have a great day. Thank you, Zoe. Hang some art. Hang some art. Are you painting paint a chicken? You know what? I'm going to tell you right now. Bianca Much, I'm calling her out right now. Bianca Much's mother-in-law do a chicken. It's behind her at home every time I'm on a coaching call with her. And it's phenomenal. So
Okay.
I'm commissioning poultry art for my office. Yes, I want a chicken behind me. Yes.
Heard. I'll get Octavia
Tim
on
Lindsay
it right
Coaching,
away.
backed by poultry. All right. See you guys.